a tool that Swami has given me that has helped me in this time is the light meditation. It's called JYOTI meditation. And so during this time, I myself have sat, what can I do? We can't be near each other. We can't go out and help. We need social distancing. But we can send light and love and light within ourselves to heal ourselves whenever we're feeling sad at this time.
Did you ever see Sai Baba in the form pre his passing in 2011?
No, I came to Swami after he passed. I feel fortunate to feel his closeness throughout each day, and to not need the physical presence. I do feel very fortunate.
27-year-old Serenitie Buyse knows exactly what she wants in life. Soon to be in medical school, this ardent devotee of Sri Sathya Sai Baba wants to help others now, just as she has been doing for much of her life. This is our second interview with Serenitie. Welcome to Souljourns. This interview was recorded on May 9th, 2020 in San Diego, California.
Serenitie Buyse, welcome to Souljourns. It's a great opportunity to see you again, and I'm so happy to announce to the world of people who aren't aware of it yet that you are going to medical school. You're leaving beautiful San Diego for beautiful San Antonio, Texas, in about 6 weeks or so, to go to a faith-based medical school, something of which I've never known existed before. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's an osteopathic medical school. It's faith-based. I'll be the fourth year. It's called the University of Incarnate Word, School of Osteopathic Medicine. So I'm really excited that Swami has chosen this school for me. I prayed to him that, make it very obvious what school you'd like me to get to. And this was the school I got into, my first interview, and it just feels right, especially the fact that it's blending spirituality in my medical training, which I feel is very important when I speak and talk and work with patients, because spirituality is such an important part of many people's lives and their well-being, both mental and physical.
I have no doubt that you're going to carry that feeling and watch it grow within you for decades to come. I want to ask you a question about where we are in time right now. As a blip in time in the history of humankind called this really threatening pandemic that's scaring a lot of people. As a Sai Baba devotee, what are your spiritual thoughts going through this period of the COVID-19, especially when it comes to being able to reach out and help one another, your Sai brothers and sisters and people who are just your brothers and sisters?
The tool that Swami has given me that has helped me in this time is the light meditation. It's called JYOTI meditation in Hindi or Sanskrit. It's been, I think, and also I work with Phyllis Crystal's PK method. So one of my favorite books is Cutting the Ties That Bind, and that's been a really helpful resource to me in my own healing and my own self-growth. So during this time, I myself have sat, what can I do? We can't be near each other. We can't go out and help. We need social distancing. And I felt really relieved within my own soul to realize that I can send light and love and meditate from home. And obviously, I think meditation is oneness with God, but we can send light and love and light within ourselves to heal ourselves whenever we're feeling sad at this time, to find equanimity and balance. So the light meditation is a wonderful resource.
I have to say that I picked up a habit, a mantra at Prashanti Nilayam 20 years ago. That's kind of similar to that. And if I ever share it with people, sometimes an individual might say, Ted, do you really think that's making a difference by, sending out light and love? Here, you've been doing it now for a long time. How would you answer somebody who might pose that question to you?
I mean, you can just feel it. You don't need physical proof. And, to each their own. We're all on our own spiritual journey. And I think if your thoughts are very powerful, and what you see and what you think, you believe, and it becomes, and the idea of manifestation. I mean, everyone has different beliefs. So if it works for you and it brings you light and joy within, I think by yourself being more light and joyful, you are thus being a gift to others.
Baba calls us continually to awaken to the one truth of who we truly are, to our genuine self-realization, self-identity. For most of us, regrettably, that doesn't seem to happen. Where are you on this journey? And do you know of people who are already there? First question first.
So I always think about biology and science, how we've all come from that one cell. And I mean, even if you look at the miracle of a human being, you start as one zygote and multiply into many. And I just think that that really ties into the oneness of every human being in this world. We all come from that one cell, whether that connects back to stardust, who knows, but it's kind of like, I think that you can mentally understand it, but to practice it and to feel it is a different experience, which comes with, I think, repetition and habit. And I think for me, I think it's a good practice to mentally just see that all are divine and all are one. And so whatever form of divinity you may follow or love, for me, it's Sai Baba, to see God or divinity in each person really that you talk to allows you to kind of see that oneness and to have that love and to treat them as your own. And I think really spirituality is simple in that sense. It's not too complicated. I think if you can, and it reminds me of one of my many godmothers and people have come into my life. Her name's Bhavani Ayar, but she is just her essence. One of the first times I met her, she made such an impact back when I was 18 years old. It's almost 10 years ago. She had a little happy pendant. It was a stamp. And it was the first time meeting her. I walked into the door and I was just overjoyed. And I was like, I love your pendant. Or it said love, it said love. And she was like, it brings you so much joy. It can do more for you than it can for me. So this is yours. She immediately took it off, and she's been a lifelong Swami devotee. And the essence of her love, it brings me to tears because it just consumes you. And she was just such an embodiment. I mean, it's just magical. You can't explain it. You can only feel it. But to have someone really practice loving you and belonging, and you feel oneness with them as they treat other children as their own children. She treated me just like she would. I was her dearest grandkid or her dearest kid, and she's loved on me ever since that day. We've become very close, and she's like a mom to me. I visit her not in the past few years so often. She's getting much older, but that's the example of kind of oneness and that love that consumes you through another person's example. She just bubbles with Swami's love and joy. It's just
she may very
magnetic.
well be an example of the second part of the question I ask you. Are you aware in your life of people who are self-realized?
I feel that she would probably be the closest, and some other, definitely I have people that are very spiritual and powerful, selfless examples. I think Swami works through many of those who are ardent devotees and who really sacrifice and give their life to God and really practice that. And I've been the recipient of immense grace. So I'm very, very grateful to Swami. Well, I think something that I'm still really working on and what keeps me really close to God and my own teacher is self-confidence. And I know how much Swami teaches the importance of developing self-confidence. And I think I've been working on that tremendously. And as I start and embark on my journey in medical school, I'm going to be faced with a lot of challenge and a lot of failure. And I think it's just the perfect way for me to practice faith. Falling and knowing that it's okay to fall and fail and to get back up and try again and keep persisting.
You know who's going to be there helping you every single second along the path. And which brings me to a question that JYOTI presented to me. Did you ever see Sai Baba in the form pre his passing in 2011?
No, I came to Swami after he passed. So in 2011 itself, after he passed.
So you have all this enthusiasm, support, love, and faith, and probably experience too with Baba being the mentor of your life, and that's just a tremendous testimony.
I feel fortunate to feel his closeness throughout each day, and to not need the physical presence. I do feel very fortunate.
Last time I spoke to you, we did an interview for Souljourns 2 years ago. You probably don't remember this because I asked you a really crazy question about your spiritual path. And you said that you don't know if you are on a spiritual path. You still feel that way?
I think we're all on a spiritual journey. Not to put one on top of the other. We're all, different different journeys, different lessons to be learned. And I think the most important thing I've learned, and I'm continuing, Swami reminds me, and it's to continue to focus within and to improve myself and to see the lessons he's come to teach me, whether that means equanimity, not being affected by criticism or praise, practicing those types of things that are important to kind of handle the storms of life when they do approach. For what purpose and significance that is, I guess I would think that's to just alleviate our own suffering, which is helpful. You don't want to, if you have a choice to be happy, we should be happy rather than having sadness overtake us or things like that.
I think also adding to your great explanation that I think equanimity also indicates that don't be so sure that all of this is real the way your mind and body think it's real. Baba says, Maya, Maya, Maya. You want to be an Atman.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a good thing. And speaking of Baba, in earlier conversations, you said that Baba guides you with your tough questions about the tough times in life that we all go through. And my question to you is, and I've asked this many times of people, how do you recognize Baba's guidance? Because many ask, but many don't hear.
Yeah. Well, if you see these flowers behind you, it is already Mother's Day.
Yes.
In other parts of the world. And Swami is the love of 1,000 mothers. So how I feel him and I see him is there's no accident. The fact that me and you are speaking about him, and we have this time together on Mother's Day, and he is the ultimate divine mother. So for this purpose, I feel his love. There's no accidents with his timing. And I just feel so grateful and overwhelmed with his love by making those connections and seeing that he's just so thoughtful, beyond thoughtful. Like, it's just like, I have so much to learn from him, and to know that also it's me, my father and I are one is also, I still have work to do in that oneness, because I still love and enjoying the mother aspect of loving on him and receiving that love.
You're right. It is Mother's Day.
He's trying to scoop me. He's trying to scoop me out of the baby carrier, but I'm like, I still like connecting and holding on to you.
So I like to figure out where people are using signposts as a metaphor about where they are in their spiritual life from time to time. And how would you characterize where you are now? Do you think you're continuing to grow? Does a person ever get to knowing everything there is to know? Where are you?
Oh, 100%. I definitely am always growing, that's for sure. I think that one thing since the last interview with you that I've really kind of gotten peace with, I really feel, I don't know if others can relate to this, but my soul in this particular life has really been yearning and seeking belonging. And I think that my physical mom was taken away from me and was not a part of my life for many years throughout my childhood and into adulthood. So that lack has really been filled through Swami as my divine mother and my guide and my spiritual teacher. Well, to begin on my Instagram, I have a link to the JYOTI meditation. So if anyone is friends with me or finds me on Instagram, there's a link that has Swami's guidance for the meditation on there. But for me, I think you really start with a flame, whether you can light a candle in front of you. You have the flame in front of you and you imagine it in your third eye, and it kind of goes, the flame, you can keep that visualization or, within your mind, and you visualize in the center, and it kind of just floats down to your heart area, your chest. And then you can imagine it sitting on a lotus, and the lotus slowly opens its flowers, which sometimes some lotuses have 1,000 petals. And as the petals open, the flame is there on top of it. And then the flame kind of, some people say, transforms into just an orb of light. And pretty much the essence of the meditation is you imagine this light going throughout your body, through your legs and up to your feet and up and back to your left leg and your right leg, all the way down to your other foot. And you imagine, you say, like, let this light purify and may my feet do only good acts and bring me to only good places. And then you have the light go to your left arm, to your hand, and then to your right arm and to your right hand. And then you say, let my hands do only good deeds, bring me, do good actions. And then you have the light go up through your heart, up into your neck and to your head. And you have it purify and bring light to your eyes and your nose and your mouth and your ears. Let me see good, let me speak good, let me eat good, eat well, and hear good things, listen to good things. Let me indulge and take in things that lift me up, make me happy, and purify me and make me into a better human being.
You,
And then,
yes, go ahead.
yeah. So, and then once you do that, you have that light expand and you imagine the same light purifying all of your loved ones and your friends, whether you're living in a home or in a difficult situation right now, because I know the coronavirus is, it's very confined spaces. Sometimes we're not allowed to go outside, and there's can be a bit of tension provoking, stirring the pot. So you can imagine this light purifying your loved ones or anyone you're having troubles with at this time. And then you imagine the light filling your whole home and your whole space surrounding you, and just that peace that comes with that. And then your neighboring home, your relatives, and your whole city, your whole nation, your whole state, and then the whole entire world eventually. And then you can imagine, once the whole world is surrounded in this light, to kind of have a piece of sitting as an observer above the world and just being the light and feeling that essence of oneness.
Well, then, after hearing your enthusiasm, seeing the way you express yourself, and hearing to the content of your message, I can't imagine the whole world not lining up to practice the JYOTI meditation. Thank you. How did you become aware of this through Phyllis? It sounded, if I understood you correctly, it was Phyllis Crystal who first enlightened you, so to speak, about the importance of this meditation.
Technically, I can't even remember who introduced me to the book. I actually have the workbok right here because I just did a little bit of tree meditation before the call.
Is this Phyllis's book?
Yeah, this is the symbol. So
she would be so happy. Yeah.
I'm so grateful to her and Swami and God, whatever your follower is. I mean, it's just such a vessel of light and healing to really connect and just be your own whole being, separate from, in a healthy way, in a loving way, from your parents, so that you're not emotionally affected by those around you, and you are an individual soul on your own journey and whole within yourself. So it's just very, very powerful, and I'm just beyond grateful and feel very, very grateful to be. We're beyond blessed. I'm beyond blessed to be in this fold and to know God and to have these tools.
Don't
know why, but
I think I know why. You're also a very, very busy young kid. You probably don't know this, or you're not aware of it, but when Phyllis died just several years ago at 102, it was a great pleasure to get on an airplane and to fly to her town south of London in England to interview her about this and other things. And she was completely with it up until, I think, just days before she left this earth. And she would be so happy. She's somewhere smiling right now at you for being such a loyal student at a young age, even after she's gone and Baba left his body. So that's great.
I'm so grateful. I can't wait to continue to see where they both guide me through it. It's helped me tremendously, and I hope it can help others.
Well, remember where you are in the year 2020, because you're going to see a different world, I think, root itself rather dramatically from this day forward, and you're just getting started. And I'm filled with such delight to be able to reach out and find that you're interested in talking. I try to practice looking around the corners for guidance every day, and it comes, much to my pleasant surprise. And one day, just relatively a few days ago, your name popped into my mind. And I'm so glad for that guidance that led me to this interview, because it's a service to all of us. Good luck in your career, in your life, and much love to you, Serenity, and Sairam.
Thank you, Uncle Anansi. Thank you, Sairam. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.